Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the MetaComix podcast. I'm your host, Mike, joined by my co-hosts, Steven and Josh. All right, we got a lot of good stuff to talk about today, a lot of big news that's broke from yesterday and today especially, but it's just been a real big week with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. finale. Then we've had the Supergirl trailer, Legends of Tomorrow, all kinds of stuff that we're going to talk about. But before we get into all that, I got to share a really cool story that happened to me today while I was grocery shopping. Okay, so I'm wearing this Rocket Raccoon t-shirt. Those of you watching the video can see it right there. My sister-in-law bought it for me for Christmas. I went to go grocery shopping, and I'm checking out, and the guy at the cashier, in the cashier lane or whatever, was like, hey, do you want to donate to the Children's Hospital? So I said, sure. And then he was asking for some information, and then he was like, oh, and by the way, I'm going to need to see your prosthetic leg. And I was like, what? And then I'm like, oh, snap. You saw the raccoon. I got it. Nice.
That's a cool reference. I didn't.
I was like, what?
I didn't think someone would actually get that.
Yeah, he just worked it right in, man. He was like, okay, I need this. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to need to see your prosthetic leg. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I don't have a prosthetic. Ah, nice. See, you even went over my head. That's when you know you're good. Yeah, that was awesome, man. That just made my day. All right, let's get right into the thick of stuff. We're going to start off with a little Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2 finale. Wow. This was incredible. I was not expecting what I saw on the TV screen that night at all. I was expecting, I was expecting it to be good. But I wasn't expecting it to be mind-blowing. And that's what it was mind-blowing.
Yeah, I thought it was mind-blowing too.
So, I don't know. What did you guys think? Let's start with you, Josh. What was your thoughts on the episode as a whole?
All right. First off, Sky's fight scene was amazing.
Yes.
It seemed like
May against the redheads
really well.
Like the ones against the redheads were amazing, and with May, I was pretty impressed. But at the same time, I was like, "There's no way you're gonna beat May."
Oh
right.
Yeah.
Not without using her power up.
Yeah, without using her powers.
Yeah, without using the powers, no, not a chance. Yeah,
I was like,
May
no
was kicking her ass when she was not using her powers.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I just loved that though, and then I don't know. It was surprising then the whole like makeup thing with her and May was just, and she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know." I was like, "Yeah, well, that was kind of boring, Especially since it was a little bit obvious if either of them kind of listened to each other.
Right.
But May is way too, I'm always right, and then Sky is just stubborn.
Yeah.
In general. Everything.
Yeah, I guess she is kind of stubborn and everything.
I love that fight scene though that you're talking about with the I don't even know what her name was, just that redhead who could multiply herself.
Yeah, that's all they call her.
Oh yeah, she didn't have a name yet. I don't know. I don't know her name either.
They just called her that redhead.
Yeah, I don't think she has a name.
That's awesome. That redhead works for me.
Marvel with their redheads. They love redheads.
Yeah, they do.
Especially for gingers.
Yeah. They got a thing for gingers, man. I don't know what it is, but they got a thing for gingers. Yeah, I really liked that fight scene. I thought it was like done all in one take or something, and it just worked really well. It flowed well, and the special effects were good, and her stunts were really good.
Oh, yeah.
It reminded me a lot. There's been several scenes in the last couple episodes of S.H.I.E.L.D. that remind me a lot of the hallway scene in Daredevil episode 2. I don't know if you guys have seen it. But it reminds me of that the way it's shot.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you guys think about Mr. Hyde?
I liked it. I know I heard you didn't like the when he went extreme, but I did.
I thought it was cheesy the way they did it. I thought it was cool that they included him in the episode, that they've included him in the show at all. But yeah. I thought it was just a little over the top and cheesy for me, the way McLaughlin kind of played it up, It was really hammy and just kind of like, ugh.
I don't know, I think that's the whole point. Cause
I didn't like the way he looked.
Yeah, he looked like a caveman. I was expecting him to be like so easy a caveman could do it, Like, felt like I was watching a Geico commercial or something.
Exactly.
And with a Marvel budget, there's no reason for the prosthetics to have looked that bad.
Yeah.
Well, TV has lower budget than movies.
Yeah. But, I mean, even though it wasn't that great, I still like Cal's character in general. Like, I think
I do
other
like
than the way they did Mr. Hyde, I really like how he's played the character. You really feel like he's a dad who's just trying to do the right thing and get his family back together. You know, and that was a big part of his character arc.
That's what I loved about the character
Insane.
so much.
What was that, Josh?
I said, who just happens to be insane.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
It's his love for his family that's kind of driven him that way. You know, like he's been so obsessive about finding Sky that he just kind of like.
His wife that drove him to that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, his wife was like, okay, now she is a little bit more crazier than him, probably.
Yeah, Jiang. Oh, she's nuts. I love how they played that so subtle though. Like you could tell there was something off about her, but you didn't know that she was completely like, you know, psycho chick. You know, like you just felt like there wasn't something quite.
Yeah, I thought that was so far.
Look at her actress though. I mean, that's all the actress seems to play. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I
But
can't remember her name
Anything
either.
else?
All of her roles are very similar. She does them amazingly, but most of them are pretty similar in a lot of aspects.
So
Or maybe she's typecast.
Yeah, so basically she's
Yeah.
like a specialty actress. Like
Pretty much.
She specializes in nutty chicks. You know, and that's she does it well.
Oh god, it doesn't sound.
She was in Dollhouse. She was in 100. I think she was in like most of. I think she was in a lot of Whedon things too.
Oh, really?
Maybe
So
that's
she's
why
probably
she's there.
Yeah, she's a favorite of his. So yeah, what'd you think of Raina kicking the bucket?
I didn't like that they killed her off.
Yeah, I was disappointed about that.
It's like they just forgot about her afterwards. Like, oh, she just dies.
It wasn't. Oh, go ahead.
As much as I don't really like her, I didn't want her dead. I thought they could do better with her character.
Yes, I agree.
But then they just decided to kill her, and I'm just like, oh, guess you can't do better then.
Yeah, what's sad is there was so much more that, like you said, that they could have done with her character. But what really killed me was the way they killed her. I mean, that was a cheap way to go out.
Yes,
I mean,
that
it
was a cheap
like,
way to go out. Like, oh,
really?
like seriously?
That was it? Like,
I was
I
so
saw
pissed they killed her off.
I seen the point of her death. Like I understand why they did it because it exposed Jiang to Sky and everything, and to the some of the rest of the people and things like that. You know, kind of bringing her down from her pedestal, so to speak. But I just felt like the way they did it was like very cheaply done. Just like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna just like, okay, look, that character completely gone. But who knows? You know, nobody ever stays dead in comic books anyway. So
Yeah, you're right.
she may not be
What's
dead.
going to happen is the Flash is going to go back in time, and it's going to reset everything, and somehow it's going to merge the DC TV universe with the Marvel TV universe, and it's just going to end up bringing everybody back to life.
You know what? Anything
it.
is possible.
All of them.
Anything is possible, man. What did you think of the kind of like the war between the Inhumans and S.H.I.E.L.D., you know, the way that played out, as far as the kind of the culmination and the showdown between Gordon and Mac and Fitz, all that, you know, with Coulson there. Like, how do you think that played out? You think that was that they hyped it too much and then it didn't quite live up to what you were hoping to see, or did it kind of hit expectations?
I actually liked it. I don't know, but I honestly don't like the character Mac. I dislike him. It's okay to dislike him, I think, but I just
I don't
don't
like
like
that
that
guy.
character.
I don't like him either. All right, we're all in the same boat on that
Oh
one.
wow, he's a very dislikable character. I don't know.
I'd punch him right in the mouth.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the things he says, like, oh my god, he's so fucking dense.
He is dense.
And they pointed out that he's pretty dumb too. They did point it out. I remember.
All right, so I really liked that scene, except for me, it just doesn't make sense as to how they're doing this Inhumans thing when they are they should know about, the king and queen of the Inhumans at this point. If they know about these little small aspect of Inhumans, so I'm just like, you would think that they'd be like, oh, hey, king and queen, your people are attacking us.
But maybe they could be on the moon. Like there was one period of time in the comic books that Black Bolt and Medusa's living in the moon, the blue area of the moon, and they probably doing it for that perspective.
They'll have to make that work out and line up right, with that, how they've kind of come about that way.
Yeah.
I liked the way they did that final little fight there, how they contained Gordon, and then we're kind of taking turns, playing whack-a-mole with Gordon, and trying to safeguard the Terrigen Mist stuff, the crystals, Terrigen crystals. I thought for sure they were going to have Coulson become an Inhuman because of having the Kree blood, which obviously didn't happen when his hand started. I
was like, no, don't let him die again.
Straight chopped his arm off. What is the deal with Marvel and chopping arms off? Have you guys noticed?
Doesn't it happen in every Marvel movie? And now in S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah.
Well, Thor got his arm cut off in comics. And Winter Soldier.
But this is, they say it's some kind of homage to Star Wars. But I'm not sure if that's what it is or not, but it would make total sense if that's the case. But it's just hilarious. Like, I was like, oh, look, another dude loses an arm in a Marvel movie. Wow.
Oh, I've got to say, I love how Fitz has grown this season.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
He finally grew the course to ask Simmons on a date. It was so funny how he did it, though. He's, like, so timid about it.
It was so nervous. Like, he reminded me, like, of a high school kid.
I was like, damn, you're so bad at asking a girl out. It's like, come on,
See,
I could do better.
Last season, I loved those two together, but now I'm just like, after how she just kind of, like, ditched him and shit, I'm just like, you can do better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I do like Simmons, though.
And, like, she tried to kill, crap, what's his name? Can't remember his name. Ward, there you go.
Yeah.
Ward is much
Ward, she tried to get Fit to kill Ward, and I'm just like, come on, man, you can do better than her.
Yeah, for real. The thing that gets me about all of that is she has completely, and this is a testament to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that they are a very character-driven show. The characters are the ones that have grown the most, out of any of the shows that I've seen, in the last couple of years. They really are heavy on character development.
Yeah.
And you see how Fitz has grown, like you said, but look at how Simmons has grown, that she's almost a complete opposite of the person she was in Season 1. Like, she's, like, contemplating some sick stuff. Like, we're talking genocidal almost, So you're kind of like, no, I don't think that's good. That's not healthy. And I think it's set up for whatever's going to happen to her after getting pulled into that gunk. I think she's going to be a villain. I do. I think she's going to come out of there not right in the head, and that something is going to be really, really bad. And it's just going to amplify everything they set up.
I think she would be an amazing villain because of how smart she is and how she's already cracking.
Yeah.
Well, I actually like that. I noticed that this season she's a doctor, and I didn't know she had those skills.
Yeah, I don't remember if they really talked about that a lot last season.
Yeah, they didn't. It's like they put a new science to her and made it different from Fizz.
That's the thing, though. Is like you said, she's so smart, and obviously she's got some conniving bones in her there, because she totally plotted to kill Ward with nobody knowing, really, except for Fitz. Yeah. But I don't think he thought she was going to go through with it. So, yeah, that's going to be crazy. I can't wait to see what happens with that. That was a great cliffhanger.
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
I felt a little bit bad.
I kind of felt bad too, because I know she has a few dislike things about her, but I still like her for some reason.
Yeah.
I like her on the show for sure. I don't like her with Fitz just because, like you said, she's crazy, and they don't really seem to to line up now the way that they are, because they've kind of gone separate paths. But I like her as part of the show. She's great as part of the show. I thought that the pacing and the action stuff was really well done. Like, this was not a boring finale. Like, it was very well measured. You know, like, it filled out its 2-hour time slot pretty good. I was kind of worried about that because, you know, like, were they really doing this to, you know, make something really, really awesome for us fans, or was it just, you know, going to be a bunch of filler and then some action here and there and get good in the last 20 minutes? And it was pretty good and pretty intense almost the entire way through. You know, kept you interested and stuff. And aside from the main thing with the Inhumans, we had the side plot with Ward, Agent 33, and Bobby. What did you guys think of that scene where she's getting her fingernails jacked?
Oh, I thought that was brutal. I cringed so many times. Like,
I was
and
cringing.
I cringed like in a way like, oh, I can't take this kind of way.
How shocked are you guys?
A little bit.
How shocked are you guys that they even did this on an ABC show?
Oh,
I was
yeah.
very shocked.
That's something you expect to see on Netflix.
Oh.
Yeah, that's something you expect to see on the Netflix series. That's not something you expect to see in an ABC family show or whatever.
Like, it wasn't even just like the hooks and the nails or anything. It was the actual blood, and I was just like, oh, okay.
I know, like, my wife loves the show, and she watches it with me, and she was, like, cringing so bad because she hates any of that kind of, like, torture stuff. So she's, like, getting real uncomfortable, beads of sweat coming out. I'm like, okay, it's maybe not that intense, but no, she didn't watch Daredevil.
I think Hannibal is worse than all of those combined. But
I've never seen it, so
I've
it's
never
just
seen
the
it.
gruesiness. It's not violent or anything. It's just that Hannibal eating humans gets very gross.
Oh yeah.
It gets really gross.
Yeah, I thought. Did you guys notice the big like theme for this was about sacrificial love? Like, you know, Cal had to give up his wife to save Skye. Bobby
Yeah, I
took a
saw that.
bullet for Hunter. I mean, and of course, you know, Coulson lost an arm, you know, for S.H.I.E.L.D., his team, you know, going down there and trying to do that and saving the world pretty much. I mean, that was a big prevalent thing here. And the thing with family, too, you know, Skye being torn between two families, her actual, like, Inhuman family, her dad, mom, and then her S.H.I.E.L.D. family. And it was really interesting to see that she chose the S.H.I.E.L.D. family over the people that were like her, and how they at the end accepted her in and accepted her power and all that stuff.
Yeah, and Skye still she still loved her father.
Yeah, actually, it looks like she had a deeper connection and response to her dad after that whole incident at the on the ship than she did before, and which made it. I mean, that scene where they obviously put him through the Tahiti program and wiped his mind.
I felt so bad. I was like,
that was right in the feels, man.
I really hope that he's able to stay that way, and they just like don't bring him back. Like, I just want him to be happy now. So just like, that guy was crazy, had to go through all that shit with his wife and like having to kill his wife. Oh my gosh, just feel so bad for him. Just like, I just want him to believe that everything in his life has been perfect.
Right.
And then just leave it at that. But they're not going to
have that connection with his daughter. That's why I still want to.
I don't think you could have had a better end to his story arc, though. I don't think you could have ended that story arc with him any better than putting him through the Tahiti program and giving him the rest that he has not been able to have because of that psycho chick that he was married to. And I think that even though it sucks, I think she'll find some way to strike up a relationship with him, but at a distance.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be something that'll be quite as close, but I think it'll be something that's comfortable for them both.
She'll be a regular customer or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of different ways they can work that out. I doubt they'll keep him away, though. I don't think they'll do that. I would love for them to do that and just let him go. They could still have him on there without him being crazy. Just make some appearances here and there, help Skye through some things, maybe, you know, as a friend or whatever. That would be interesting, but I don't want to see him come back and then him remember her and then start all this over again, because then you've basically wiped out all that emotional stuff that you established, you know, that depth that you got with his arc in this season. And I don't want to see that happen.
Oh, I
See, what I
know.
think- Oh,
I kind of feel bad. I mean, I don't know, but it's kind of risky to have him as a doctor, because like you don't know if those things could come back. Like, what can he just injure a patient of his eventually? Like that's kind of risky for them to do that.
Well, I think that when they reconstructed his brain, I think they pretty much wiped out all the stuff that kind of made him nuts. So I think unless those memories come back, because I think it was the emotional trauma that made him the way he was. So without that emotional trauma there, he's just a regular guy.
Well,
So-
he experimented himself.
Yeah, but it was just that fluid though. So I don't know. Like I said, well, he could still suffer, I guess, from episodes of turning into Mr. Hyde or whatever without really understanding what's going on. But that would be so much like the Hulk. I don't know if they would do that. So, yeah, I really liked his story arc this season, and I thought they did it very well and ended it well there. What did you think of the fish oil?
Oh, I
The
thought it was kind of
Terrigen fish oil.
stupid how they completely forgot about the thing that fell in the ocean. It's like, come on,
Yeah.
Sky, or you should have alerted
They just
S.H.I.E.L.D. to
left it
get
there.
that thing out of the ocean. It's like, how could you just forget about it? It's like, so weird.
How did the chest open so easily? Is my question.
Yeah, it just
Well,
like
airplane,
floated out.
the crash probably made it.
Yeah, but isn't it not? Is it not latched?
yeah, exactly. I think
don't
that was
know.
the biggest plot hole of that whole episode was how that happened.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I was like, what the hell is going on there? How could they just forget that thing was even in the ocean? It's like, oh, let's just forget about it. We won't even bother go looking for it.
No,
Whatever.
I think what they're gonna do with it is pretty cool. You know how we're gonna start to see other Inhumans.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I have a question about that. Do y'all think that we're going to see any Inhumans that we know and recognize from the comics, or like maybe even just like small ones?
maybe small ones. I
Maybe.
could see them doing small ones. You definitely won't see any of the major ones because they'll save those
Yeah.
for the movie. But some of the smaller ones, I
Like
wouldn't be
the
surprised.
only like one big one that I think they would possibly bring in, if they can, would be Lockjaw, just because he's the one that can't talk.
Right.
Oh, Black Bolt can't talk either.
Well, yeah, but Black Bolt is the king. They can't bring the king in.
I know.
I bet not this season, but I bet through if they do a fourth season, I bet we will hear Black Bolt name dropped
Oh
as
yeah.
they prepare. I bet we'll start to hear about some of these people name dropped or referenced in some way, you know, to kind of tie it in and set the stage, because that's obviously what they're going for, is setting up the Inhumans thing, which I think is brilliant considering that they're not going to do mutants. You know, they can't do mutants because of the whole deal with Fox and all that shenanigans. The Inhumans is the next best way to go about bringing in characters like that and bringing in that arc. And they're doing a pretty good job of setting it up, minus that, you know, obviously glaring plot hole with how that chest got opened up and how no one thought to go into the ocean and dig it back out.
You know, but they can plan out all these things and plan out who's going to be where this time, like around the world, but can't go, oh, hey, should probably pick up that box.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Huh.
Oh, there goes that $28 million plane. Oh, well.
Oh, maybe Sky was too traumatized to remember that the thing fell in the water, that her mom was trying to kill her.
Who knows? They may address it. They probably won't. But I thought that was pretty cool. But what I was most excited about was the very, very end, where Coulson tells Skye that she's going to be kind of the first member of a Avengers-like team, but they're going to be secret. That was awesome. I'm like, I am so excited. I want season 3 now. After hearing that, like, now. Who is it? Who's on this team with her when season 3 starts? This is going to be awesome. So I'm really excited about that. Who do you think they're going to bring in for that? You think we're going to get new characters, or do you think they're going to kind of bring in some lower characters again that we haven't, really been
I
exposed
think they'll
to?
probably bring in, like, Sky level characters. Like, you know, those ones that nobody actually knows. but every now except like the really big comic buffs, and if you like go back and look, oh yeah, that is that character, but knowing that you're actually gonna be like, oh, I remember this one. He's my favorite character or something like that.
Do you think this is going to be the Secret Avengers? Do you think that's what they're going to call this?
That could be it. Yeah, that'd be cool if they do that, Secret Avengers.
I think that's really. I just think it's really cool that we're finally like the one complaint everybody had when this show started in the first season was there wasn't enough powered people.
Yeah.
Well, now we got one of the main characters next to Coulson. Sky, and she's a powered person. And
She's
now
a
we're getting a
Marvel
whole
character
team
already.
Yeah, and now we're getting a whole team. And now not only we're getting this team in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but over the next couple of years, we're getting the Defenders on Netflix. So it's like, holy hell, we are saturated in superhero teams.
Next season, I'm hoping for a Daredevil cameo.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be so awesome. I would love to see that. I'd love to see Coulson on season 2 of Daredevil. Like, just make an appearance.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
well,
seeing
Coulson's going to be the one who brings together the Defenders, so that is likely.
That would be awesome. That'd be a great way to do it. Yeah, Coulson's like the glue of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe in a way. He's the one who's kind of been bringing the pieces together. Acting out Nick Fury's will, so to speak, and putting all these pieces in play. So it would be really cool to see that, and I hope that they do that for sure. I hope to see some of these characters make their way into movies too. I know Daredevil is supposed to be. There's a big possibility of him being in Infinity Wars, along with the other Defenders.
He signed a contract to be in a movie, but they don't say what movie.
See, yeah. I hope he's in Civil War. Even if he has one line.
Well, he said that he's not in Civil War because he said he lost his opportunity to be in there.
That sucks. Because they need as many heroes as they can, but they can't just make up a bunch of heroes. Because it's not going to be Civil War if it's 6 heroes.
Yeah, I think there's just 9 total, which, and that's just the ones that we know about right now. I mean,
yeah.
Who knows how many there actually will be.
I'm kind of nervous about how how well they're going to do this movie though. Because with the Avengers and they have the whole extra hour or whatever that they're gonna add later on DVD. I'm just Civil War is gonna have more. It's supposed to have more characters in it and
more. I don't know how they fit
more
the
drama at the same time. So I'm just I don't know how well that it's gonna hold up.
Well, I think me personally, I'm not a huge Joss Whedon fan. I think he did okay with the Avengers and stuff. But I think that the Russo brothers are far superior as far as crafting a good story.
Oh, I agree.
I'm a little more at ease knowing they're the ones taking Infinity Wars than I would be with Joss.
What other movies have they done? I'm trying to remember.
It was a bunch of comedies. They just did comedies before they did Civil War. Before they did
Flash
that one.
Too, right?
I can't remember.
They're the ones who did Lego Story and stuff, right? The Lego Movie.
No, they're not.
No,
okay,
I know who you're talking
brothers
about.
Too. I know that's why you got confused.
Yeah, they're brothers too. Yeah. I just don't remember their names though.
No, it's Chris and Phil Miller. That's all I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're the ones who did the Lego Movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Russo brothers did comedies. I don't remember what it was, but The Winter Soldier was their first action movie, their first serious movie. And I'm like, you guys wrote and directed that your first time out? What's it going to be like when you actually know what you're doing? It's like... So, I don't know. I'm a little more at ease knowing they're handling Civil War and handling the Infinity Wars stuff. If Joss was in there, I would be a little more skeptical because he seemed like he was getting burnt out when he was doing Age of Ultron. And I think the movie suffered because of that. I still loved it, but it could have been better. I mean, it could have been better in a lot of ways. But... I think when we watch it on Blu-ray, it'll be like watching a totally different movie, and I think
I just want them to do a special release on just to theaters, an extra $2. I'm just I would gladly pay that extra $2 to go see that.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be sweet. They should do that. That'd be a great way to bring in the DVD release or whatever, the Blu-ray release. Hey, we're gonna have a special screening of the whole movie, for an event or whatever at the movie theater. That'd be awesome. I'd be there in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm a little more at ease knowing that he's got that. I think that they'll do okay with that as a whole. It is, whenever you have more than 3 or 4 heroes in a movie, you have to worry a little bit because everybody getting their screen time and stuff, and still having character development and stuff. But we'll see how it goes. So overall, if you guys could give this episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a score, what would you give it, Josh?
I would give it a 10.
Steven?
I'll give it a 9.5.
I'd give it a 9.5 just because I don't like giving 10s.
The reason I don't give it a 10 because that ocean scene was...
that one plot hole.
Yes!
Yeah, I love Sky's fight scene so much that I could look over that because I really love that fight scene.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean it was darn near as flawless as an episode can get for a.
I noticed the fighting. Once again, Marvel has much better fightings than the ones on DC.
Well, Marvel's got a bigger budget. Marvel TV has a way bigger budget than CW and DC has. DC suffered greatly because of Warner Brothers.
Well, because they can actually hire a real martial artist to teach them how to fight.
Well, no, it's just
we're talking about this. Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to talk about it. Hold on.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going. So, this week we got 2 trailers for 2 DC shows, which DC is killing it on TV, too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still love The Flash. Not as hip on Arrow, just my personal preference, but I say it's still a good show. And then now, we're getting Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl. So let's take Supergirl first because that one annoys me more. Save the awesome one for afterward. That one. So okay, Supergirl trailer. Didn't like it at all. I probably will watch the pilot episode, and if the pilot episode doesn't blow me away, I probably won't watch it again. That's just my initial overall thought. It was cheesy. It was corny. I like the idea. I like what they want to do, reaching a female audience with a solid female superhero. It needs to be done. It should be done. I don't think CBS is the network to do it though.
Yeah.
I liked it. The reason why I like it because I actually like Supergirl, and to me they actually did a good job on the character. I think.
What was your thoughts overall, Josh? What did you think about it?
I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was great, but I also don't know Supergirl. I've never read any of her comics. I keep meaning to pick up a trade, but I never do. I always see something else that I want more.
I have read a couple of her series. I actually like the character a lot.
Yeah, so I don't really know anything about her character, but for most part, it looked enjoyable. It mostly just looked like a female Clark Kent, so I was just like, yeah, because that is exactly how I pictured Clark Kent being, and it reminded me a lot of Smallville.
Yeah, it does remind me of that too.
I really liked Smallville a lot.
Me too.
I can't say I really liked Smallville. I liked the later seasons, but the seasons in the beginning were horrible. I don't know.
See, I'm exactly the opposite.
Yeah, I liked up until I liked season 1 through 4.5, and then up until season 9 it was bad.
I agree.
The final season was good.
Yeah, final season was good, and I love the way they finished it off.
Yeah.
I like the way they closed it out. It was a good finish for the show.
Except for the fact that you never see him in costume.
I know.
And all that because of the stupid contracts.
Well, he said that he didn't want it to be in tights. The actor said that. I'm like, why did you sign up for this movie if you didn't like being on tights? I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Speaking of Superman and that Supergirl trailer, did y'all see the man taking his shirt off with the S under it?
I don't think so. I don't
remember seeing that.
Like
I remember
I can't
details.
tell for sure, but it looked to me like it was a man taking unbuttoning his shirt with the S under it. Like I know that there's supposed to be a Superman body double in there at some point, so I don't know if that was just
Yeah, I
that or
remember
what.
they have news about that. Looking for a Superman.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah,
Person.
so it's about like halfway through, I think, and he's wearing like a pink shirt, and you just see him like running, but you don't see his face. I looked at it like 5 times after I saw that.
Oh, I only saw the trailer once.
Yeah, I haven't watched it more than once. I'll have to go back and look at it now that you say that. Personally, for me, what it looked visually impressive. I like the way they did the special effects. It was a pretty good job with her flying, and then her with the plane. The plane scene was awesome. I loved that.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, the plane scene. It looked really good.
For me, I just don't like the cheesiness, the hamminess of how they act. I feel like I'm watching the old Donner Superman, and I love the Donner Superman because I grew up with it. But
Oh,
seeing it
nostalgia.
try to be done now doesn't
No.
work right to me. You know, like it doesn't look right when that's being done in modern times. It just doesn't seem to fit that well. So that just kind of bugged me a little bit. Although I think she's a great actress, and I think she's perfect for the role. I think that everybody minus Jimmy Olsen, and we'll talk about him in just a second. Uh, the everything else looks really good. I just don't like the way that it feels. Like there's just something about it that just feels cheesy and kind of corny. And I swear it has to be CBS. It has to be the fact that CBS execs are involved in that somehow and kind of controlling how it's kind of candy coated in a way. I don't know. There's just something that doesn't feel right about it that I can't exactly put my finger on. That makes me just feel, I don't know that I'm going to like this. I hope that it works, but if it doesn't work, I hope it moves to a different network instead of getting canceled. Because I would like to see a different network take it. I think that they would do a much better job with everybody still intact, minus the Jimmy Olsen guy. I do not like the Jimmy Olsen thing at all. Jimmy Olsen is supposed to be a ginger-headed nerd. And even if he's not gingered, at least make him a nerd. You know, like stick to the comic books. Nerdy.
he's just like good-looking, suave black guy now, and I'm just like, all right, that's not what I was expecting from like when you first see him, it's just like okay, whatever. And then she's like, oh, you're Jimmy Olsen. I was like, wait, what?
The only thing I don't mind it, to be honest, 'cause it seems like he's like a mature version of Jimmy. It's just like
It
this is
seems
probably what.
like he's gonna have game. Jimmy Olsen should not have game.
No.
Oh no, I just think
No.
he probably be mature, not have any game.
Oh no, trust me. He's gonna spit some. He's gonna mac. He's gonna mac on some chicks. He is.
Oh.
You can tell. He's suave and smooth, man. You can tell he's suave and smooth.
I don't mind the. I don't know. I can't seem to complain about it.
One
yet.
sec.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't mind it, but it just doesn't. I don't mind it if you're gonna do a brand new character. I thought the other guy, the guy who asked her out at the beginning.
Yeah, I thought he was
Olsen.
a Jimmy. I was like, that's a Jimmy Olsen character right there.
Yeah, I thought that was Jimmy, and then I see
He's
this.
taking the place of Jimmy, but
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what's so corny that I did not like? The line that was so fucking cheesy. Don't call me Jimmy, call me James. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Excuse my language. I thought that was so corny. I'm like, shut up.
There was a few jokes in there that I was like, okay, that's overplayed.
That one was so cringeworthy. I'm like, oh my god, that is
There was a lot in there that I was just like, I don't know. I'm up in the air about it. That's why I said I'm going to wait till the pilot episode comes out, and I'm going to check it out, and then I'll make up my mind. But if that pilot episode doesn't blow me away, I won't come back for another one. Because, there's so much good content to watch right now that I can be picky like that. So, it's like if you don't match the standards of these other shows, I'm not going to be there. I do think that we need some female superhero stuff, whether it's movies, TV, something. But I don't know that CBS is the right network to do it, though. I mean, this is such a departure from everything they have on their network right now. Like, this is a network that's got CSI and NCIS and all these procedurals. They don't have a whole lot of action shows, superhero stuff. They've never done anything like that, I'm just not sure that it fits well with that kind of a network, but we'll see. I mean, there was spots of the trailer that I thought were really good, and her costume. I loved her costume because it actually looked like a freaking costume.
Oh, I changed my mind about the stockings because for some reason live action looks good. Like seeing it in action makes a difference.
I thought it looked good, and if you look close, you could see the stitching where it looked like she sewed the sucker up herself. And I love that. I love it when movies and shows do that. Like in Daredevil, the first suit he has, with just the black mask or whatever. I actually liked that better than the red suit, even though I thought the red suit was pretty cool too. But I liked the black suit better. I don't know. It looks like that's what you would expect a superhero in real life to do. They don't have $1 million tailors. They wouldn't have these resources like they do in comic books to make these things. So when you see a normal kind of costume like that, like it almost looked like a cosplay costume, you're like, hey, that's actually pretty cool. I like the colors. Thought the colors were nice. They didn't kind of go Man of Steel with it and make it so dark and dreary that you couldn't really tell what was going on, which looks like they've improved on the Man of Steel suit in Batman vs. Superman. It looks much brighter and pops better. But I like the suit, and I like her as the part. I mean, she did well. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I'll check it out. I'm not as excited as some people online were. I watched one review of the trailer from Comic Uno. I don't know if anybody else watches her.
Yeah, I watch her.
Yeah, she was super excited, man. I've never seen her that bubbly before, and she's a really big Supergirl fan, though. So I was like, well, that's cool. I mean, you're the target audience. It's like if enough of you watch it and it's good, then I may never watch it, but cool. You guys
gonna
got
watch
something
it
to watch.
I'm a Supergirl fan.
So yeah, the big one, Legends of Tomorrow. This came out of nowhere, surprised the crap out of everybody. I was blown away watching it. When I first heard about them doing the show, the spinoff, I'm like, really? Do we really need this? Really? I don't think we need this. After seeing it, I'm like, yeah, I think we need this. So, what was your guys' thoughts? Josh, we'll start with you. What did you think of it?
Okay. I have a few things. First off, I just want to say I'm excited for this. I am really excited for this. It looks awesome. But two things. One, the name kind of sucks. And two, it pissed me off that the first time we see Adam shrink is in a damn trailer. I'm just like, they had so many times that they could have shown it to us in a more dramatic setting in episodes on Arrow and Flash, and they show it to us in like a minute-long trailer. I'm just like, that's some bull. But other than those two things, it looks awesome. Like, the Rip Hunter's character already looks pretty interesting, and it looks pretty accurate for most part. And then I can't wait to see Hot Girl fly. I love that actress as Hot Girl. She looks awesome to me. And then then that one guy who they haven't said what he is, Jay or whatever. That one black kid.
Well, they haven't said who he is. He wasn't in the trailer either.
Yeah, he looks like I'm interested to see what he's gonna be. And then I want to know how and why Sarah was brought back too, because I think that's weird, especially since they haven't mentioned it. Like, they barely even talked about her in the last few episodes.
Oh, they didn't talk about her in the last episode. Yeah.
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 So that's something you're gonna have to explain in that show, I think.
Good point.
Yeah.
Well, I think let's talk about Sarah. It's the Lazarus Pit, obviously. It's how they bring her back.
Yeah.
From what I gather, I think they're gonna go back and explain that, and that the trauma from being brought back and everything, and what happened is going to play a huge part of her role in the show. So I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but she doesn't look or feel like the same person.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she looks very different. Like the way she acts is very different. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that exactly, or how they're gonna kind of fix that in continuity with Arrow, which is that's part of the problem of doing an expanded universe. Whether it's movies or TV or whatever, is you can run into continuity issues, especially if you don't have one person who is kind of overseeing the whole process. And I don't think that they have that right now with DC. I know Marvel had it with Joss Whedon for a long time, where he oversaw the overall continuity, made sure everything fit together as best as it could. But I don't know. I don't know how they're going to fix that with Arrow. I haven't even seen the season of Arrow.
There is one continuity issue they messed up. Well, it's not too much of a mess up they did. When the episode where Adam came to Flash and came back from Arrow. I don't know if you remember that, Josh.
Wait, which one?
The one that Flash appeared in Flash.
Wait, the Flash appeared in Flash?
No, Adam. Wow. Sorry, it happens sometimes. I say the wrong thing, and how do we notice it?
Okay, yes. Yeah, that episode.
And then went back for him to be an Arrow, the next episode after, and it's like, is there a plot hole there, or?
Oh, what it was is because the episodes were staggered. So Arrow was a week ahead.
Yeah, that's what got me confused on which episode
every
takes place first.
Yeah, after after their break, Arrow started. Flash had like another 1 week break, so Arrow got ahead, and that just so then they were always a week ahead in the future. So everything that happened in Flash had already happened in that week's episode of Arrow. It happened last week to them.
Wow, that really messed things up a little bit there. Yeah, I was wondering why they weren't having the finale on the same night. That makes sense. Because, I had to pick one show to cut to keep up with everything else. Because when you get a wife and kids, fellas, there's nothing else to do. You have to cut something at some point to make time, So Arrow was the one that got it just because I know for a fact it'll be on Netflix. So, I haven't seen any of this season, but it looks like it's been pretty decent. So.
It's decent, I can say.
Steven, what did you think of the trailer?
Oh, I thought the trailer was great. I really liked the trailer a lot. I'm happy that Adam finally shrunk. Because I was kind of... during the whole time of Arrow, I was kind of like hating he's like an Iron Man wannabe.
I refused to call him the Atom until that moment.
Yes! I agree. But it's like, okay, I guess it's an add-on to his power, like to be like almost like Iron Man kind of. So I do like seeing like Hawk Girl, and the Firestorm is like, the special effects is pretty awesome on that. I really like that.
The thing with the special effects is these aren't even finished special effects. These are just like the fly by the seat of your ass kind of
they did it last
special
minute
effects.
Too. It's so crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, just the fact that how they did that. I mean, even the special effects for Adam shrinking. I mean, they looked pretty bad, but that when you see the show, it's going to look a lot better. They'll have time to finish it. But yeah, the special effects, I agree, look very impressive, especially for something that they literally slapped together in just a few short weeks or whatever.
Even for TV, it looks pretty decent.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm excited about that.
And I don't know, but me and my boyfriend was talking about this earlier in the morning today. That they can introduce some, now that this is like time traveling. They can introduce a lot of time period characters, like Jonah Hex or Vigilante or Shiny Knight, Etrigan.
Jonah Hex would be interesting. That would be interesting.
Or even Batman Beyond. That's what we were all thinking.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that. The fact that it's a time travel show and you can add in all those different characters, and you could even have in just like plain historical figures who encounter, these characters and stuff. That'd be kind of interesting too. That's really cool. I never thought about that.
I even thought of Legion of Superheroes as well.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I want to see Booster Gold though.
I want Booster Gold.
Yeah, I want Booster Gold so bad. And
why haven't they done anything with him? Does anybody know?
I don't know, and
Because no
that's
one's
his
ever
son
heard of
right
him.
there. Rip Hunter is his son. So I don't know why they haven't introduced him yet.
I heard somebody on one of the things I was watching about it say that it's because they're actually wanting to possibly do some type of show with him as one of the main characters, so they're trying to save him. I don't know if that's true or accurate or not, but yeah, I was totally expecting them to use him in something like, the time travel thing like this. You would expect him to be all over it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I thought the trailer was excellent. I liked it. I was really surprised, to be honest, because, like I said, I thought this was an unnecessary show. I thought this was just CW trying to milk it, DC trying to milk it. After having seen it, I'm like, dude, this is totally. I think this is going to be good. The one thing I'm questioning though is, and this is just because I don't know that much about these particular characters, is Captain Cold and the Heat guy. I can't remember his
Heatwave.
name. Yeah, Heatwave. When did they
Why are they
become good
there?
guys? Yeah, why did how do they suddenly become good guys?
And Captain Cold
We have
said
no
it
idea.
in the most recent Flash episode.
Yeah, I know.
Don't
That's what I
trust
was
me.
thinking.
He
I was
says,
thinking,
"Don't trust me as a villain. I'm a villain. Don't trust me as a person. Don't ever trust me." And it's like, here goes
Well,
again. Flash trusts
there's
him.
gonna be something where they address it, but I have no idea what it is.
yeah, I have no idea what they could do to possibly have Flash put any kind of trust in Captain Cold ever again after what happened in this week's episode of the show. So that's kind of interesting how they're going to work that in there. I was like, Captain Cold and Heatwave as part of a superhero team? That's weird. But whatever, I still thought it was really cool. Actually,
But I mean, Captain Cold does become a league member at some point too.
That's true.
Oh
It's
yeah,
true. I
but
forgot
he's still kind of, I don't know, bad person.
Yeah,
Because he's only there for like
anti-hero-esque, but not really, because he doesn't kill.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Which the Flash TV show kind of messed up on. Because he does kind of like kill there.
Yeah, so I thought it looked really good. I thought the action looked good. Special effects to be half-baked were really good. I can only imagine what it'll look like when they actually film the show and start it in real post-production and have the time to really, polish it up, make it look good. Firestorm looked great. Yeah, I'm excited to see Hawk Girl, like you said, Josh. I'm really excited to see how they do that. We just got that little tiny glimpse of her with the wings for just like a split second in the trailer.
I want to see the actual costume, because the CGI still makes it a little bit muddy, like you can't actually see it.
Yeah.
So,
I want the helmet. I want the helmet.
Yeah, the helmet is like central, man. They got to get the helmet. I did like the fact that they said she has past lives issues or something.
Yeah. I like that too.
That's like the best take on that character from the comics. That version right there that they're talking about, that particular thing is very central, I think, and that's great that they're taking that direction with her character. So I'm looking forward to that, and yeah, I think it looks good. I'm excited for it. I was not at all excited about it really before. I just thought one more show that I will probably have to cut because I just can't watch it. I'm thinking of cutting something else out of my
Well,
it's coming out in the
slot.
spring, I heard. Spring 2016 is coming out.
Okay, so it comes out next. So it's okay. So they're gonna kind of do like what most networks do, which is like a little mini shorter season to see if it's any good.
It's only gonna be 13 episodes.
Yeah, it's gonna be DC's Agent Carter.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see it next year when it comes out. Then I think it'll be really good. I think it'll be fun to watch. Looks like there's going to be lots of action. And once again, another superhero team. Getting tons of superhero teams on TV now. So it's like anybody who loves the whole superhero team dynamic, thy thirst shall be quenched.
Oh, and I agree with the name. Legends of Tomorrow is...
Yeah.
And there was one cringy line there. That's, oh, you guys are not... You guys are legends. I was like, I'm like, no, stop. Because none of these characters were legends in the comic books. They were like unknown heroes. So don't even bother calling them legends. They're a bunch of D-listers. Come on. They're not legends. They don't have the legend
Well,
title.
Hawkgirl kind of is, but she is because of Hawkman.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Titans.
Oh, I can't
They
wait for
talk
that.
about D-list. They have Hawk and Dove on the team for some reason.
That's
Oh
really
yeah, I know. That's so weird.
And
I
it's,
literally had no idea who they were until they announced that they were going to be on the team.
I've
I was-
heard of them.
I had to go look them up and stuff.
I actually try to read up on them, but I don't know. They don't. The comic books haven't done anything interesting about these characters. It just
They're in like the second or third episode of Justice League Unlimited.
yeah,
And
they didn't do
they were
much
showing really
either.
good in that, but other than that, that's about it.
what did you guys hear? What the name change was for that? It's not going to be Teen Titans. It's going to be like
That's a rumor. We don't know that.
Yeah, it's a rumor.
Blackbird.
It's supposed to be. It's
That's
either
a
Titans or
stupid
Blackbird.
name, to be honest.
I hope they stick with Titans.
Yeah.
Blackbird sounds dumb.
And
they
isn't
said
that,
they said
isn't
they
that
wanted to stick-
another superhero team in DC that has nothing to do with Titans?
Yes. Yes, it is.
So why even bother?
They also said that they wanted to stick true to the source material more than they have with the other shows, so
That's interesting.
that'll
Well,
be
see-
interesting coming from TNT.
Yeah, for real. That's
I wanted-
what I'm saying. It's so weird. Is all these shows are spread across all these different networks. Like you would think that they would want to have all this under one house, you know? Like
But they couldn't because then that network would only be showing superhero shows.
that's
Like they
true.
have to make their own. They should just do it. Make their own network.
I'm hoping that it would be part of the CW universe because
Okay, what's Vixen gonna be shown on?
what?
Vixen.
Oh, that's just gonna be an animated series on the
Yeah.
CW website.
Oh, it's on the website. Okay.
It's a web series. That's what they call it.
Okay. Yeah, I find it really weird that animated show is gonna be tied in with the Flash universe.
It's only gonna be 6 episodes, I heard. So it's like,
But still, animated show tie-in. That's so weird.
Yeah, that's very weird. That is some strange crap right there.
I thought that was weird too.
So are like the characters gonna be voice actors in the show?
I don't know. They didn't talk about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. It'd be interesting to see how they pull that off. That's a new one. You know, Marvel was considering doing that with their animated universe. They were thinking about starting over and doing an
They should
Marvel
start over.
Cinematic Universe animated that ties in with the movies.
That would be cool.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if they're still going to do that or not. But yeah, so that's kind of an interesting concept. Seems like everybody's wanting to play around with that. That's kind of cool. Kind of weird, but interesting.
I don't know, but since Grant Gustin's not going to be the Flash in the movie, if they cancel the show around that time, and he actually does do the voice acting for the Flash and Vixen, and he's good at it, he could have a potential career doing that, voicing the Flash for the rest of his life.
That's true. I don't know. I don't like the guy at all. They got to play him in the movie that they've cast.
I don't. Ezra Miller, I can't.
I don't know
can't-
him. I don't know. I can't have any judgment.
He is an awesome actor. Like he's fantastic, but he's not a superhero.
Really?
He's definitely not Barry Allen. Like if anything, I could see him being Wally West at the most.
Well,
Like,
they haven't announced which Flash they're gonna use for the movie.
they said it's Barry Allen. I'm pretty sure it said it's Barry Allen.
Yeah, it's Barry.
Oh.
Yep. So yeah, I don't like that at all either. Man, I thought that was kind of wrong the way they did that. They cast Ezra Miller not long after.
The second episode, week of the second episode.
That's just wrong, man. You know?
Stephen Amell actually called him out on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess since they don't want to cross over universes, I guess.
Yeah. As long as they don't get rid of the Flash, but I don't think they will since it's their top TV show right now.
Yeah, I don't think they will. And They said that Jeff Johns said that he wants to do Infinite Crisis in Infinite Earths, whatever kind of thing. That's
That
why
would
got
be
so much
amazing.
different universes.
I want him to write the Flash show. Simply because he's my favorite Flash run.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
good
he did a
writer.
good
I
job.
actually think he's a great writer.
I have the second volume omnibus right next to me actually.
Yeah, I agree. He's a good writer. I don't think I read that Flash, but I've read
You-
other things that he's written.
I definitely recommend. Of course, I would recommend getting the first omnibus, but this one, the second omnibus for the Jeff Johns run, has the origin of Hunter Zolomon as Reverse Flash.
Oh, okay. I gotta check that out.
Yeah,
it's actually really. I wish I could tell you the issue, but DC kind of sucks at doing that with their.
I can figure it out myself.
Yeah.
Like they never, for some reason, they reprint the cover art, but don't put any of the information on it.
Yep.
Just the picture.
Yep. I've got a ton of DC trades upstairs from the New 52 stuff, like Superman, Wonder Woman, Superman, The Adventures of Superman, Batman, all that stuff. And every time I read it, I have no idea like what issue that is. Like, so if I wanted to look something up online about it, I'm like, I have no idea what this is.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, because they don't even put like the title of the new issue or anything. It's just the cover art, and you just have to guess. Like one time, I kept reading, I'm like, this is a long issue. I realized I'd read 3 of them. I was like, well, that's why it was so dang long, man. I just were sitting here and read like
Exactly. I've done that before. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stop when I get to the next issue. Why is this issue taking so long?
Yeah, I know, like
it's like to be done with the book.
Yeah, it's like an hour later. Like, I've never seen a comic book this long before. Wait, those were splash. Those weren't splash pages. They were covers. Holy cow! You know, like, what are you doing? So yeah, I totally get what you're saying with those. All right, switching gears again here. We are going to talk about the Spider-Man rumors that are floating around everywhere that have not yet been confirmed, but some sources, Latino Review, which take it with a grain of salt coming from Latino Review, or El Miambe or Mambe or whatever his name is. I can never get it right. Asa or whatever. I can't pronounce his first name, so I'm just going to call him Butterfield. Cast as Spider-Man is what they're claiming. Josh, what are your thoughts?
I'm not a fan of a kindergartner playing Spider-Man, because that's what he looks like to me. But, they want someone who's going to age, and I guess since he's 18 right now, or 17, one of those two, he will hopefully mature somewhat fast, because he probably has a multiple movie deal. So as long as they don't bomb these movies like some previous incarnations of Spider-Man have, then it should be alright later on. But I don't know, he just looks too young right now. He just looks like he could be like 11 or 12. He doesn't look like he's in high school.
And what's funny about that, though, is a lot of the pictures that we keep seeing of him on the internet are from like 3 years ago. He doesn't quite look that bad now.
Well, that's good to know.
He looks like,
Go ahead.
he looks like he's about 16, 17 years old. He doesn't quite
Okay, well,
look
that's good then.
Yeah, he looks like total Peter Parker, like you'd expect, and I'm sure that they'll make him put on some muscle to be Spider-Man. It won't be much, but it'll at least make him fill out a little bit.
How tall is he? Because he does not look tall at all. Like every time I see him, I'm just like, that just looks like a short guy.
He is taller than Robert Downey Jr. He's taller than Iron Man.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what gets me mad is they keep putting, because I know he was in Ender's Game, that movie. They came out like what you said, like 3 years ago. So he was like much younger during that time. So you could have gotten a growth spurt later on, and we don't notice.
I mean, he still looks super young, and like you were saying, Josh, that's obviously what they're going for is the aging into the role, so that they don't have to try to, stretch it to make it look like he's younger than what he is. which they're not going to have that problem with Butterfield.
I don't want him in Civil War.
He's
Like,
gonna be in Civil War.
Yeah,
I know.
that's real.
I don't want him to be, though, because of the fact that Spider-Man plays an integral part of Civil War in the comics, because he is a grown man with a whole separate life, not some kid.
Right.
So he's not going to be able to hold that same part at all.
That's what bothers me, that they're doing a high school Peter again this time around. I kind of wish he was not in high school.
I want the high school Peter Parker, since we're starting over, because it's going to be awfully darn hard to explain how he's been Spider-Man for 8 some years and nobody noticed.
Yeah.
So that's just impossible, I think, to pull off. So you have to start over. But I think this time they can do it right and focus on what like the original run of Spider-Man was like back in the day, where it was a teenager having real teenage problems trying to be a superhero. I hadn't thought about what you'd said, though, Josh, about how in the comic he's got Mary Jane and he's got this adult life that's at risk by him coming out and taking off the mask, whereas in this one it would maybe be Aunt May, but that doesn't quite have the same clout as I think like having a Mary Jane would, unless they're going to go with some route like where him and Mary Jane are together in high school already at this point, since he's been Spider-Man for a while. They could kind of pull some of the ultimate in there.
I don't think they're going to have Gwen in there at all, so...
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, maybe they're going to do it that way, where it's his girlfriend is then put at risk, so it's kind of like that, but it's still not quite as powerful. So that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that and the problem that kind of poses. So I wonder if he's going to have the same level of impact in this then as he did in the comic. I'm wondering if they're going to do that, or if they'll take a different direction and maybe have somebody else fill in that spot because of that.
Yeah, Aunt May died in the comic book, and then the whole retcon thing happened. The one more day crap.
Oh, yeah.
That retcon his marriage just to bring Aunt May back. I'm like, oh god. But okay, that's comic books for you.
Now I've seen little bits and pieces of the actor, and I think he's got the acting chops, I think, to do it, as long as it's written well. As long as someone who understands Peter Parker, who understands the humor, who understands that he's got that witty sarcasm kind of thing going on. I think it can work.
I honestly think that this Spider-Man movie will be the best Spider-Man movie yet, simply because they've had 5 Spider-Man movies to look at and be like, yeah, those did not do very well they did well at the time, but in comparison they did not do very well, and they sure as hell did not hold up. So they have 5 movies that they can look at and see as what not to do. Then they have all of the current MCU movies as examples of what they can do and like what they've learned from. So I feel like Spider-Man is Marvel's #1. He's just like Batman is DC's.
You're right.
As much as a lot of people argue Superman is, it's definitely Batman.
Yep.
Spider-Man is Marvel's. Without Spider-Man, Marvel's pretty much nothing in comparison. Like, they would have lost so much without Spider-Man. So they're gonna do all that they can to revive him and get his name back in good standing.
Yep, I agree. And what I think is really cool too is that Kevin Feige in this interview said, he's like, Spider-Man is a kid who's just like one big ball of nervous energy. So he never shuts up. He is always just running his mouth, and he just can't help it. He's just so full of energy and stuff because he's a teenager and he's having all these new life experiences, and now he's got superpowers. How would you be as a teenager with that kind of thing? So that tells me Kevin Feige gets that character. So since he's overseeing all this, I'm really confident that whoever they pick is probably the right person for the role, even if they don't necessarily look like it. Like, I didn't like Dylan O'Brien. Like, everybody was crazy about Dylan O'Brien, but I thought he looked too old. To pull off the high school thing. So I mean, he's a good actor, but I just didn't think he looked quite right. He's too handsome.
I couldn't see him. I like that guy Nat Wolff
Yeah,
I liked him.
I wanted somebody who didn't look so damn handsome.
Yeah, that's why he was my pick, because he's not very good looking, and he still looked pretty. He looked like he could be a teenager and stuff. So, and I've seen his acting, because he was in a couple of he was in some indie movie, and then some like stupid kid movie. But his acting was pretty good in both of those movies. So, and he was also, because he grew up like in that on a Nickelodeon show a little bit, like Naked Brothers Band.
Yeah.
He has some experience and stuff. It's not like some amazing kind of experience, but he's experienced and stuff, and he's not like extremely good looking or anything like that. He's like average, maybe a little bit below average, and it's just like he's still good though. He's not like hideous or anything like that.
Right, because Peter Parker's just an average kid. He's not super handsome. He's not the jock-looking guy. I mean, he's kind of like, as far as the look, Tobey Maguire had the look of Peter Parker for sure. That's what you think of, the nerdy, not really that good-looking guy, the average guy. So I think that someone like Dylan O'Brien looked like he walked off of a Backstreet Boys music video. Not going to work, It's like we've done that before. I mean, Andrew Garfield wasn't really.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think he's a good-looking guy.
Andrew Garfield was way too good looking, and
you see, I liked it.
He was suave. Like, when the hell did Peter Parker become suave? Like, he was all smooth in there. Like, oh yeah, young Gwen, and he was all like Peter Parker was never cool. Okay, was never cool. That's why he was a different person as Spider-Man. Spider-Man made him cool. It gave him confidence when he was out there doing his thing that he didn't have as Peter Parker. So. What the hell, Like, I could not buy someone like Andrew Garfield having those kind of issues, like in real life. So it's like I like that they're decided to go with somebody who obviously looks like an average person. So that has me excited about it. I'm excited to see him.
If you took Tobey's Peter, Andrew Spider, and you would have perfection right there.
Yeah.
Andrew Spider-Man was perfect. Because Tobey Spider-Man was really boring and kind of lame.
Yeah.
Always crying.
And very emotional.
Yeah.
But his Peter Parker was pretty much perfect until the third movie.
Oh, yeah. The dance scene ruined
it's all emo Peter Parker.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
the worst comic book scene I've ever seen. The worst comic book movie scene.
Yeah.
It's like Batman and Robin level bad.
Yes, it is. That whole movie is Batman and Robin level bad.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
No, they really didn't. But okay.
Yeah, you gotta love that. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with this. I want to see an actual announcement though, because. OMFG has said a lot of stuff. He said, "Oh, well, this scoop's going to happen," and then there's been a lot of it that never happened. So, I don't know if this guy's got the real deal or not. It seems pretty legit. Everybody and their mother's brother's uncle is talking about it now. Yeah. So, there's, but until we hear it from Marvel, for sure,
but then again,
it's still up in the air.
Marvel could just be like, "Oh, hey, you guys are actually just all wrong. We're just going to let you think that though until we can't anymore."
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if they could keep it under wraps who Spider-Man is, they probably would until the movie.
Oh yeah.
But there's no way that they could do that at this point in time.
Especially with him being in Civil War, which we know that he's going to be in Civil War. They can't hide that. Yeah. We all know that. Then somebody's going to get a snapshot from a set of some guy walking around in the costume and going to blow it at some point. So they're going to before they actually shoot the scenes with Spidey in them, they will probably announce. But it probably won't be until then. Till they get to that point where they're ready for it.
Yeah. All right, you're going to come here at this time tomorrow. All right, we're going to go announce it right now.
It would be really cool if they would do like the scene from the Civil War comic book, like did a press conference and reenacted that scene and had the actor pull off the mask.
Have Robert Downey Jr. come out as Tony Stark.
That would be sweet.
There you go. I have that as a promo.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I wonder if they'll do that. I should submit that to them. Like, hey guys, but this idea isn't free, fellas. I want a kickback. All right.
Oh, you should just jump into
say my name.
that photo.
Yeah.
Conversation.
So, last bit of news to talk about today. Captain America Civil War set photos. Got a lot of set photos from the movie. We got some first looks at Crossbones, and we got some photos from the funeral scene, which is where I want to start, because everybody has swore up and down that this funeral was for Captain America. And I've tried to tell people repeatedly in comment sections everywhere, there's no way this is Steve Rogers, because Chris Evans said himself, I'm spending 9 months next year filming Infinity War 1 and 2. 1 and 2.
Exactly.
Like, it really did not cross my mind at all that it was him. Like, all these people, like, I saw all those comments too, and I was just like, guys, do you not know how contracts work? Do you not know how announcements of casting works?
Exactly. I'm
just like, do you not realize that there's no way they're going to take Captain America, Iron Man, or Thor out of their movies before the contracts are over?
Right. There's no way they're going to do that, especially right now either, with all those characters at the apex of their popularity. They're not going to take.
It's not even a question. I don't understand why people would even think that.
It's because they think that Marvel is going to be 100%, faithful to the comic, but not everything that works in a comic is going to work in a movie.
Did they not see Age of Ultron?
Yeah, that was Age of Ultron in name only. That didn't have a single thing from the Age of Ultron story arc.
It didn't have a single thing from the comic book.
Except Ultron himself. I mean, that was it.
I was a little bit annoyed that they were like, oh yeah, we're having Ant-Man coming out after Ultron is created. It's like, really? It's like, really? You couldn't have had it just like a month before and had just him just make an appearance and be like, oh yeah, I made this thing.
Well, they changed the origin in there.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I was hoping that Hank Pym would have been the guy who made Ultron, but I guess for the cinematic universe, it works for whatever it is they're trying to do.
Yeah, it makes sense for Iron Man to make Ultron.
That's one thing that people don't seem to be understanding, is that they're treating it like its own universe. Just like how the Ultimate Universe is its own universe, Earth 2 is its own universe, they're treating the movie universe like it's its own universe. Yeah, it has influence from the comics and stuff, but it's still its own thing.
Exactly. I don't know, man. People don't seem to get that. And a lot of comic book fans don't seem to get that, which I have no understanding of why that is so hard to grasp. Because it's like, guys, you read this stuff every day. You know what this is like.
Yeah.
What is your deal?
Oh, there's another thing that's really bothering me that I want to mention in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, freaking, I like Lance Hunter with Mockingbird. And he's much better than what Hawkeye is in the comic books. 'Cause Hawkeye in the comic books, he's a jerk. He cannot hold relationships to save his life. He cheats a woman like nothing. And even though I do like the Hawkeye because he's funny in the comic books, but it just wouldn't fit for the Hawkeye in the movies, because it seems like the Hawkeye in the movies is much more nicer and more charming than the one in the comics. So
I am dying to see Hawkeye in costume, like in his stupid purple, like in his stupid manhuntress costume.
Yeah.
Like he literally just the male version of the Huntress. Like, their costumes are so similar.
I don't think you'll ever see it on screen.
I know, it's so sweet.
I actually like that costume in comic books, but I don't know if it would translate well in
Well, I saw someone, I saw a fan-made one, and it looked really cool. Like, it didn't look, like, amazing, but it still looked pretty cool. And I think that like with like Marvel money, they could like definitely improve on that because it was just a fan made thing.
Right. Right.
But
What did
then
you
again,
guys?
you saw Quicksilver's jog suit,
Yeah.
which
I was a
was
little disappointed. I was a little disappointed by the suit, but again, I think it fit with the story. But
oh
I
yeah,
would have liked.
but it still could have been a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
I like it because it doesn't. I don't think his actual spandex costume would work.
Oh yeah, but I'm just like Scarlet Witch looked good. Quicksilver just looked kind of stupid.
Yeah, it was just it was literally just a jog suit.
And that's what it's supposed to be. He's a runner.
They had
That's what they wear.
they had some concept art and stuff, and had other suits made up, but they just decided not to go with them because of the ending they went with. But maybe we'll see some of the stuff they did in behind the scenes stuff
Yeah.
on the Blu-ray and see exactly what he was could
Because
have
I'm just
worn.
like, if they were gonna take him out, could have at least made him look cool beforehand.
Right.
Oh, I found out the reason why they killed him off. Because they had a deal with Fox that
Yeah, that's what I
keep
figured.
Quicksilver, while Fox keeps Quicksilver and Marvel keeps Scarlet Witch.
Is that like confirmed? Because I mean that's what I thought automatically, but I was also listening to a few other podcasts and they were just like, but they were talking how it wasn't confirmed. It was just like the general like acceptance and rumor that most
I don't
people are
know.
like, yeah,
I'm not
makes
sure if
sense.
it's confirmed or acceptance rumor. I have to go check again, but to me it makes sense that they probably did do that.
Oh yeah, like it makes perfect sense because that's exactly what I thought. Like as soon as it happened, I was like, oh, duh. Of course he's.
Oh
the
wait
one
a
that's
minute,
gonna
you're right.
die.
They did confirm it. It was confirmed because they had they had an interview with Kevin Feige and he said it's those exact things. He said that we're never gonna bring back Quicksilver just because of Fox.
That's good.
We're never gonna bring him back alive.
That's good because they already brought back Coulson. Although I find it really stupid how Joss was like, "Oh yeah, Coulson's still dead in the movie universe." I was like, "No, he's not, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is part of the movie universe. They just think he's dead because S.H.I.E.L.D. fell apart."
Yeah,
Right.
they still doing that apparently. They still think he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
But that does.
which is understandable. But when he was like, "Oh yeah, no, he's still dead. There's no way he's coming back," I'm just like, that doesn't make sense.
I think Joss was having a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's having a mental breakdown.
Like, I really do. I think after all these years, his last 5 years of trying to keep all of this stuff together and trying to be like, okay, this all fits together. Here's how this part's got to fit into this part, how this movie fits into here. I think he's just cracking like an egg, man, and I think he just had enough. What'd you guys think of this photo of Crossbones?
He looks exactly like how I thought he would.
I actually like it a lot.
Yeah,
Like-
I like it.
It's very accurate.
Yeah, I like it. I think they did a good job, and I think he looks pretty menacing. I'm looking forward to seeing how Frank Grillo. Is it Grillo? Is that how you say his name? Grillo?
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah,
Frank
I loved how he played Rumlow in Winter Soldier, so I'm excited to see him come back. And I love the smack talk he was doing with Chris Evans on Twitter a little while ago. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, I saw it.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, he was
It's
like,
about ass whooping kind of
yeah,
thing.
he was like, what did it? Chris Evans said something about seeing the awe in everyday things or whatever, and he's like, you're going to be seeing awe when I give you an ass whooping. And then he was like, he's like, what are you talking about? You can't even read. You're probably having your kids help you read this. So Chris Evans said back, and he's like, I'll read your hospital chart for you after I put you in the hospital, hero boy, or something like that. And so they just had this like back and forth going on forever. And it was really cool because it was like pumping fans up everywhere. Like, yeah, I can't wait to see this movie now. So I was like, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I like the costume a lot. It reminds me of a video game called Army of Two.
Yeah.
I don't know. You see, like it kind of reminds me of the outfit. Yeah, It looks like Army 2 video game.
Yeah, it looks good. I like it. I like the way that they did it. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I like Falcon too. You guys saw the Falcon one, right?
Falcon looks
Yeah,
awesome.
it's the same one from Avengers. I like it.
I really hope that in the extended Avengers we have more Falcon, because Falcon is awesome, and his new costume with the red in it and stuff looks great.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that they added the color, and like how he's got kind of like the almost like pearl white inlays on his shoulders or whatever.
I think.
Yeah, I love that. I love the red goggles, man. I love the red goggles. That's such a great touch.
It's funny how a little bit of color actually makes the costume better.
Yes. I agree.
Well, I mean, come on. They're no Batman. They're no Batman-type characters. It's meant to be colorful. They're the Avengers. They're out in the open. They're all one solid color, like especially a dark color. It just looks kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Like with Scarlet Witch, it looks okay because she has her bright red hair, and she's white. So it has that contrast.
Mm-hmm.
I like Cap's uniform. It looks a lot like the one from Age of Ultron. It's almost identical, really. It's just a little bit darker on the red. It's like the red is crimson colored.
And I know they changed the emblem on his shoulder to the Avengers one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like the whole thing. It almost looks like a mix between his stealth suit and the one that he wore in Age of Ultron. It's like kind of like
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, so I like it. I think it looks good. He looks really tired in this picture, though. I'm looking at it right now. His eyes look all swollen and stuff. I'm like, dude, he looks like he hasn't slept in like forever.
Maybe he didn't sleep that day.
Yeah. So the big thing, with the funeral thing, we saw the pictures. It's kind of hard for the funeral to be about Steve Rogers when he's attending the funeral with Black Widow. Obviously, he can't be in the casket and walking beside Black Widow in mourning at the same time.
Comic books, man. Comic books.
It's true. True. Good point. Yeah, it's more than likely Peggy Carter because it has a Union Jack symbol, kind of, British flag or whatever over it. So.
Or maybe he's doing like they did the DC Robot Chicken special. I don't know if you've seen it where Green Arrow is in his own funeral. Like, because they always bring characters back alive. It's like they made a joke about that.
That's hilarious.
So funny.
That's hilarious. I never thought about that. So yeah,
I know that's not happening. I know that's not happening in the movie. I just thought that was a joke. Funny joke to say.
Yeah, so that pretty much solves that big riddle. That it's not going to be Cap, and like we said, he's too important a character right now to do that to. I mean, Captain America has become more popular than Superman. I mean, that's unheard of. But
okay, but Captain America is also a much better character than Superman.
It's true. It's true. I've got Superman tatted on my arm, and I still think that that's true.
Oh, I didn't know you had that.
But I got the real guy over here, so no worries.
All right. It's okay. Yeah. The shield is bigger than the crest.
That's exactly it. Exactly. Yeah, he's much better character. He's much more layered. He's got a lot more stuff to him, and of course, he's not bulletproof.
He's not completely overpowered.
Exactly. So it's much.
I know they're changing that. They've been trying to change that in the New 52 though. That he's not overpowered.
I like the New 52 Superman, but I don't know. I don't have the same magic that the Superman had when I was a kid.
I've never been big on Superman. I haven't even touched the New 52 stuff.
It's all right.
I actually like it.
Pretty much, other than Justice League, if it's anything and Superman, I usually don't even bother with it.
Well, I mean,
I just don't like Superman.
Well, like you said, he's overpowered, and it's really, after all these years, where do you really go with a character like that? It's really hard unless you make some like fundamental changes to who he is. There's not a whole lot you can really do with that.
Well,
Yeah,
they made
everything ends up.
villains that actually could defeat him this time around.
But I mean, I have the same kind of problem. Like, I still love Batman and stuff, but I still have the same kind of problem with him in that he somehow has always planned like everything, no matter what kind of random event happens. It's just like, yeah, I have planned that was gonna happen like at this exact
Oh yeah, I
moment.
hate when they do that sometimes. Sometimes they overdo the pre the preempt fight. Like I don't know, they overdo it sometimes.
Yeah, like sometimes it makes sense. Other times it's just like, okay, come
So,
on.
so what you're saying is you don't like the fact that Batman's plan has a plan for his plan in case that plan doesn't work.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Like
I feel that.
like in Doom in the Justice League Doom movie, they did it perfectly. Like I love that portrayal of Batman and his planning and stuff because like his stuff got stolen from him and they made it so that like Batman has flaws. He had his cave broken into and things stolen from his computer. And I'm
I
just like,
agree.
see,
That one is pretty well
in
done.
comics that would never have happened. In like the comics recently, anyways, that would never have happened. Batman would have stopped him and stuff. He would have been like, "Oh, someone came in here," but
Yeah.
and then like he had a plan to like stop but not kill, to stop every person in the Justice League. And I'm just like, that's something that Batman would do, and it's not going overboard. It's not making it be like, oh yeah, no matter at any point in time he can fight and beat Superman. I'm just
There's an
which
example of that I know in the recent Batman and Superman series. There was an issue that I forgot what it was exactly, but I think it was just the villain called I don't know it's like Zadu something like that, but he shot Batman in the chest, and for some reason Batman looked like everybody thought that Batman had died, but then later on you see that Batman is okay and everything's fine. It's just that, oh, I was prepared for that. I was prepared for that shot. And I'm like, how did you know that he was gonna get shot with something?
Yeah, like
That
I had this one metal plate put right here just in case. It's like
it was shot from a guy who's also a Kryptonian. He had like some special
then,
power.
then he's just
It's
like,
like,
oh, I knew it was gonna be there because he's this tall and left-handed and always has a tell when he flicks his wrist and his hair blows left
well,
in
they
the
had a
wind.
crappy excuse with that. Well, I'm always prepared for things. And I'm like, okay, that's your excuse, but whatever.
yeah, it strains credulity at the least. So yeah, Cap definitely a better character in my book. He's my favorite all-time character anyway.
Yeah,
So
he's my number two.
who's your number one?
Flash.
Flash.
Flash
Oh,
is
it's
number.
my number one.
Yes.
I'm primarily a Marvel guy. I like DC. It's just I've always just fit more with the Marvel.
I'm gonna need you to give me a list of things to read from Marvel. Specifically X-Men and Fantastic Four, because I've not read anything from those.
Well,
If you
the recent Fantastic Four series is really good. The James Robinson one was really good.
Yeah. So was I don't know if you like
Oh, Jonathan Hickman was good
Jonathan
too.
Hickman's Fantastic Four run. Not nearly as complex as the Avengers run.
okay, good.
Yeah, the Avengers run
Yeah.
is pretty deep.
It's very complex. The Avengers one was I got to the times runs out. I got to a point where I got too confused and I had to watch a video to tell me what the hell is actually going on.
Like
Because
you read the comic book, have no idea what's going on. You have to watch somebody else explain it. Like comic books aren't supposed to be a class,
Yeah.
know.
it's like I had to watch.
But
I had to
sometimes
I had to get someone who's smarter than me to explain it. It got too smart for me at a certain point.
Yeah, that's yeah. So Jonathan Hickman's run, pretty good on Fantastic Four. Very good. And the Ultimate Fantastic Four is pretty good too. I'm not a huge Ultimate fan of the Ultimate
I
Universe.
don't like the Ultimate Universe very much.
But I liked the Fantastic Four run.
I like it a lot because it's different.
I heard that the first 2 or 3 arcs for that one are good for the Fantastic Four, and then it starts to get a little weird.
Yeah. And I liked, for the most part, I liked a lot of what they did with Ultimate Spider-Man, but I didn't keep up with anything else other than that.
Well, I like what they did with
I read the Miles Morales
Richards.
Yeah. So yeah, those are some good ones that I can think of right off the top of my head. There's a lot with the X-Men. X-Men, that's Astonishing X-Men. Joss Whedon's run on those really good. That's essential.
I like Bendis' run for All New X-Men and Uncanny X-Men.
That's the newer ones.
Well, that's a new one. That's a recent one.
I'm reading Bendis' anyways because I just love Bendis as a writer for most part.
Oh,
yeah,
I like other writers too.
Yeah, I like Bendis too. Well, that is all we have for this episode here. Lots of good stuff coming out. I'm sure as things continue to go into the summer season, we're going to get a lot more movie and TV news, different things that are going to be happening in the shows. Next week, I think, is the finale for The Flash. Am I correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, that's going to be probably the main topic for next week's discussion, is The Flash.
I'm going to have so much to say about that.
Me too.
Yeah, so that's going to be great. So we'll probably be talking about that, and who knows what other kind of set photos from what other movies we're going to get, or kind of footage or anything else, because this week was pretty crazy. I can only imagine it's going to pick up from here. So make sure you guys check out the channel, MetaComix. Obviously, if you're watching this, then you already know where that's at, but if you're listening to this on audio, it's YouTube, MetaComix. Just go ahead and search for it, and you'll be able to find it. We tried to post up some news videos and some reviews of shows and comics as time allows. Starting to get into the habit of posting up at least one video a day. Gonna have some topic stuff coming up soon, and obviously additional podcast stuff. So keep an eye out for that. And you can follow us on Twitter at MetaComix, which is the @ and METACOMIX. So all right, guys, that's all we got. We are out of here.
All right.